Teacher pay, classroom funding, two big talking points during the massive march on the state capitol in the spring. But some issues of education reform, they've slipped through the cracks, and one of them is class size and overcrowded classrooms in Arizona. Matt Rodewald breaks down how much this affects teachers and how the candidates for the House and Senate are hoping to change it.
Red for Ed shined a bright light on several issues in the spring.
Everybody's heard duct tape on the textbooks. Absolutely true.
But there is one issue that did not get the publicity that might be the key to fixing the still simmering movement of education reform in Arizona.
It's nice to have friends in your classroom, but you don't want all your friends in the classroom.
The difference between grading 20 essays that are 6 pages long versus grading 30 is an unbelievable difference in the time expenditure that teachers have.
For me, it's always class size. It's always class size.
It's the ambiguous issue of class size, the crowding of classrooms and the shrinking of individual attention being given to students in Arizona public schools.
It's a much more complicated issue than you can immediately wrap your arms around.
Who's ready for a crash course in class size? Let's go to work. Classroom management and assessment, the two issues affected the most by student-to-teacher ratio. Play with some numbers from 2016, just averages here. 16 students in a class across the country. In Arizona, that number jumps to 23. Let's put those numbers in motion. With 16 students times 5 different classes, that's 80 students per teacher across the country. In Arizona, when you do the math on this, 5 classes equals 115 students. That's a difference of 35 students. That means 35 different 5-paragraph essays, 35 new tests, and 35 projects that all have to be graded. And if you put 6 minutes of time just into grading those, it turns into 3.5 hours of extra work and a lot of sleepless nights for teachers here in Arizona.
I don't think people understand how long it takes a high school language arts teacher to grade 35 papers in a high-quality manner.
Increase the workload with any job without any increase in pay, and you have a problem.
People always think that, oh, well, you know, teachers, they only work 9 to 5. They have weekends and summers and holidays off. They don't realize how much work we take home with us.
But for all the candidates we spoke with on the issue of class size, to them, it's a matter of running a proper classroom.
So you're teaching to the middle of the classroom. There is no opportunity for one-on-one engagement with the students.
Classroom management is central to good learning. And when you have less kids to manage, learning thrives.
Research shows that the smaller the class size, the more successful the students in that class will be.
When you have large class sizes and few school counselors, you know, a lot of things fall through the cracks.
The issue of class size in Arizona has created an undercurrent for young millennial teachers simply unafraid of change.
I don't think many people even understand that we lose 50% of our teachers in the first 5 years.
But the one that finally kicks them out the door is when they can say, you know what, I can't survive and have a family. I can't choose. They have to make this choice between having kids and teaching kids.
This always comes down to kids. It always does.
And there are at least 44 candidates on the ballot that are current or former teachers or educational professionals, and most of them are running as Democrats. By comparison, the state of Kentucky saw a similar teacher uprising this spring. It has 34 of the 100 educators on the ballot who survived its state primary.